What's happening, players and players? It's your main brother man from the Too Woke movement and the Black Men Don't Cheat Alliance. And just wanted to come holler at y'all cool cats real quick and give you a couple of public service announcements. So, real quick, hit you with the fat facts and keep it on the skinny. The content that's gonna be discussed and addressed within this following controversial conversation, well, it's gonna be dealing with what we may consider sensitive subject matter. So here's a trigger warning. You may hear things like suicide and depression and other things like that, you dig? And the second thing, if you or your closest partners just ain't feeling right, like you might got mental anguish of the mind, or maybe you're dealing with other mental health issues, well, we here at Controversial Conversation, we encourage you to seek help through therapy and other means, you dig? Because it's something about temptations that'll just make you feel like you ain't got sunshine. And when you ain't got sunshine and everything around you's crazy, it makes you ask, was it just my imagination? But I ain't gonna belabor the situation because labor is really the only thing I do around here. So, real quick, let me go ahead and hit y'all with the plug. Be on the lookout for the new album to play at your cookout. It's titled Big Brother, Word to Your Mother, and other rhymes as smooth as butter. Coming soon. And also, if y'all want to see more of me, holla at the good people over at... Hey, my mans. Yeah, you, with the video transition card. Did it sound like I was done? Did it? No? Then you better put that damn camera back over here, boy. And like I was saying, if you want to see more of me, holla at the good people over at OMP. It's the brother. Welcome to my talk show. 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 And we're on live. Yo, what it do though? Just the babe. You already know, man. Back again. Finally, here we are, controversial conversation. And I get it. It's been so long since I've had a chance to just sit here and engage with you guys about whatever's going on. And that's on me because I've had to be selfish, y'all. And not selfish in a bad way, but selfish in a way where I realized I finally needed to put myself first. And y'all, I went through a lot. And that's what I'm gonna talk about today because I've been so many places talking about this one topic right here, but I haven't sat down and just talked with y'all about it. So if you hear my voice kind of start to crack at times, if you see me get a little caught up, y'all gotta understand, I came from a place so dark. Like I was almost out of here, y'all. Like I literally was almost out of here. And this is the first time, aside from being able to talk about it on the Soul Fresh podcast or 13WMAZ or around a lot of people that I've recently met, this is the first time that I'm really talking about everything that I truly went through. And at first, this is going to come off maybe alarming, maybe very, very alerting to you or scary to you, or, it might put you on And, I don't really know how you're going to perceive the things that I'm going to talk about, but I know that they need to be spoken about, and I know that I need to speak about them. So without overdoing the intro and all of that other stuff, let's have a true controversial conversation about depression. January 29th, 2022 was one of the scariest days of my life. I was on the phone with my mom and I was just telling her like, yo, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like life. I don't like living. I don't like this day-to-day grind, this cycle of pain. I hate it. I just don't get why every day has to be worse than the one before. And like I couldn't find anything to get myself out of bed. I couldn't take showers. I couldn't eat. It was hard, y'all. Give me a sec. Get my throat right. Because like I said, man, I went through a dark place, but I'm in a lighter place. So I'm not going to try to make this as, thunderstormy and all that craziness. Like, let's have a little bit of lightness to this. But I got to be honest with you. The darkness that I felt on January 29th, it put me in a place of, am I really living with a purpose? Am I really living for something? Am I here for a reason, or am I just existing? And I started thinking, if I'm just existing, does it matter if I'm no longer existing? Like, what will that really do? Like, who is really gonna stop their day and be like, damn, I miss Mike. These are the thoughts that depression puts on you. That's not true at all. None of that shit was true. I got way too many people that care about me. I would never do that, not because it's not fair to them, but I would never do that because I realize what I possess now. I realize the power that I have within myself. So, I'm going through my day, January 29th, 2022, and I repeat this day because it's a day that will forever be etched in my memory. And I'm laying in my bed and I'm so hot, like my body, I'm blazing hot in my body. And I just don't know like what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to move. And I'm just stuck. I'm in a rut. And I'm paralyzed. Paralyzed with pain, with like these harmful thoughts. And I'm swirling just in this vortex of a whole bunch of emotions, and I just don't know what to do. I call my best friend. He's so empathetic, and he's just sitting there just like listening, and he's like, bro, I want to take your pain from you. Because I mean that's just the kind of person he is, Shouts out B. Yeah, like, you my dog. And like we had a conversation, and even that, it just didn't help. And I didn't know what to do. But it didn't stop. My bills didn't stop. So I couldn't just sit there. I had to figure out a way to get everything handled. Think about it. What is January 29th? It's 2 days before rent. So I gotta hustle. I gotta get my fucking money up, right? So now I'm sitting here like hating life, but knowing I have to do enough to afford to keep living, right? So that's a fucked up, twisted thought that I'm dealing with at the moment. But I can't stop this because I have to keep going. So somehow I get myself out of the bed, and it's probably about 6:30 in the evening time. I turn on my phone, I hit DoorDash, and I just start dashing. And that leads me into the next couple months. You see, I went into a place of self-isolation. I cut myself off of um, of Facebook, of all of my social media. I was gone. I just vanished because I couldn't be around people. I couldn't see these things on my timeline. I couldn't like talk to anybody without just feeling like, yo, why are we here? Why are we doing this? Why don't we all just end this? Because I felt like everybody was feeling like I was feeling. Obviously, that's not true. And you have to think, like, why are you even feeling this way? You're worth so much more than that. But we'll get to that part later. So I'm isolating myself and I'm dashing. Like I'm literally becoming a full-time dasher over like night, right? Like it's the only thing that I'm going to do right now is dash. And that helped me because what it allowed me to do was create on my Spotify what I call a dash track playlist where I found some of the greatest motivation to keep going. So there's a list of artists that I really, really became. I don't even know the word to describe how immersed I got in these people's catalogs. But these people, these rappers, these heroes, to me now, these heroes, they essentially saved my life. So I gotta give a thanks to Millie's, yeah, white rapper out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, is probably somebody that I've never related to more than anybody when it comes to music, aside from maybe like Big Crit and that's really it. Like he's somebody I can't stop playing Blanco 5. Y'all go rock with that. It's so dope to me. But him, Benny the Butcher, I went on such huge like binges of his catalogs. I didn't realize it was so deep, like Butcher on steroids, then the Stabbed or Shot, the collab with him in 38 Special, and then his track, his Burden of Proof, Tana Talk series, the Plugs I Met, like his song with Black Thought, bruh. Every king will be crowned. These things spoke to me. This music spoke to me. And then, his cousin, Conway. Like, I was on a huge Griselda thing. Reason. I'm not a big West Coast rapper, like, fan. Not that I don't like them. I know that there's some really amazing ones, and obviously Nip's always going to be somebody that I truly, truly love. But Reason is just different. And I went through so much of his music, and it felt like some of the things that he was saying, because he's such a conversational rapper, it's like he's just talking to you at times. It's so therapeutic listening to it, and I just kept going and going and going and listening to these artists. This guy Akeem Ali, who came out of nowhere for me as this humorous but clever, witty, bar spitter that kept me from being too dark into that gangster type shoot 'em up music that I was really listening to. He came with this sense of like, a light for me. OT the Real, he was another just like random rapper just out of nowhere that just I heard the dude's voice and I was like, damn, nigga gritty, I realized he wasn't a nigga. White dude. I was like, okay, cool. And then I started listening to him more, and dude was just like barred up, and everything I listened to him is just it's top tier, or as they say, HLR, high level rap. And this last one that I found, he has this song with the first person that I mentioned, Millie's, and his name's Crutch Calhoun, and I think he's from New Jersey. He always says Roselle, USA on all his songs. And there's this one song called By Tomorrow. Every time it comes on, and it comes on every day now, every time it comes on, I play it at least 3 times. And I play my playlist at least 3 times. So I'm listening to this song at least 9 times a day. I don't know why. This song speaks to me on levels that I can't describe. The instrumental is one of those soulful, just female whining, singing, just perfectly matched. So what happened for me was I'm driving every day, and every day I'm listening to this music, and it's changing me. It's helping me see that, okay, I know what I do want. I don't want to kill myself. I want to find an end to the pain, though. And I was like, bro, what is the one thing that you've always loved more than anything in this world? Rapping, hip hop, spoken word, putting the pen to the paper and creating a visual like projection of what's going on inside my mind is something that I just love more than anything. And that's what led me to therapeutic vibes is this the first concept was this way of me just taking every thought, every angry emotion that I felt towards everybody that I felt did me wrong, that I felt led me to January 29th. But I wasn't really truly looking at it from the perspective I needed to because I was so clouded with hate and resent and just anger. Anger is a poison, and it's one of the worst parts of depression for me. My anger is why I'm in therapy now. My anger is why I realized I could die so damn young from the stress that I put on myself, from the stress that I endured just from just over living. And I know that doesn't make sense or it sounds weird, but it's like I'm always trying to do so much instead of just living, just letting life flow. Like, sure, you can take initiative, you can be ambitious, but every single moment of your life does not have to be the grind. Every single moment of your life doesn't have to be figured out. And every single moment of your life doesn't have to be just, I need this now. I need this now. I need this now. Sometimes you can just be like, bro, take a breath. Slow down. That's what I did. I slowed down because I realized that this version of therapeutic vibes that I created that felt so good, it felt so good that when I listened to it the first time in my car, I cried. I broke down because I thought about everything that went into this album, everything that went into it, like the long nights of begging for the pain to stop, the crying, the pleading, the sorrow that I heard in my mom's voice. Sorry. But like I said, Therapeutic Vibes version 1 was not something that I could really just put out as much as I wanted to. You know, as dope as it was, and it's dope. And one day I'll probably be able to put it out. But I couldn't do that, right? Give me a second. My bad. I couldn't do that, right? And I felt lost again because I felt, oh my God, I just created this. I went through everything, bro. I did it. I found a reason. And then it's like, nope, snatched. It's like, it felt just taken because I'm like, I can't put this out. I can't say these things about certain people that I'm truly caring for, or I can't say these things about things that have happened in my life with this much visceral and or is that a word? Vitriol. I don't know. Whatever Stephen A. Smith be saying, you know, he be coming up with them big long $5 words. Anyways, I was very angered in my approach, and I was very aggressive. And I'm like, yo, these people did nothing to me. Depression forced me to see them through a lens that was very foggy. It wasn't clean. It wasn't who they truly were, right? And I was angry because of what I was going through. And I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, y'all, for lack of a better term, that's some hoe shit. right? I told myself like Jones, yo, that's some hoe shit, bro. You don't do that. So you know what I did? I went back to the drawing board, but not to make a new album, to clear my mind. And that led me to something that was what I will tell you now, the biggest life-changing moments of my 33 years. I was able to truly transform myself into a completely different person. So that darkness I told you about and that light I told you that we were going to get to, we're getting closer, y'all. We're getting closer and we're getting closer. Trust me, we're getting closer because now I realized, okay, I actually like doing DoorDash. Like, this shit is fun for me now. I get to get on the road and just whip through the city all day, jamming to some of the dopest music that's ever been made. Like, why am I tripping? Okay, I'm cool. I'm cool. Nah, let's really take this a level further. And that is what got me on to what I call my 28-day grind. So the 28-day grind, or essentially the reset, is something that I don't know where that came from, but it's something you're gonna see in the upcoming weeks that I'm gonna be dropping periodically. I'm gonna be dropping it in like weekly segments, and I'm gonna call those segments quarters. And you're gonna see we're using the 4 quarters theme a lot now. And you're gonna really start to understand what I mean. I know you've been watching these things now 3 years. We just hit that 3 years. Yes, that is something to celebrate. And that's also something I wanna say really, really quick. One thing I learned during my 28-day grind is to celebrate the small victories and to celebrate all victories. So for me, I wanna say, and we made it 3 years, June 3rd, from June 3rd, 2019 to June 3rd, 2022. We've been sitting behind this desk talking to you. Nice rhyme, right? You like that? I know, me too. Anyways, 28-day grind. What it did for me was it changed my outlook on life, on relationships, on spirituality, on so many levels. Like, molecularly, I feel like I am a completely different entity. I am no longer the person who was seeking validation from others. I'm no longer the person who relied on, needing other people to see what I have to offer. Like, I'm no longer waiting to take lead. I don't need to anymore because I understand who I am. I possess a certain level of power that I was able to snatch back from depression. I snatched that power back. I gave it back to myself, and I realized I am dangerous and I can do a lot of things. And when you start to realize that you have this potential, which we all do, but we all have blockers, we all have barriers, we all have mountains and molehills and speed bumps, and I could keep going on, I know, but I'm just saying there's things that try to prevent us, these obstacles, but we have the abilities. We possess the abilities to do crazy, amazing, beautiful, monumental things. And I'm gonna let you know, fighting a mental disorder and getting the help that you need is one of those things. That's one of the most strongest, most beautiful things somebody can do for themselves, because that tells people, look, everything ain't right with me right now. But there's so much more that could be offered in this world if I just allowed myself to see it, and I want to be able to see it. I want to live. That is such a strong and sometimes hard statement to make. It's easy to say I want to die. It's easy to say I want to kill myself. It is so easy to say those things. But what are you living for? The 28-day grind showed me I was living for more than just the music or, the content creation. I was living for a purpose to show other people that they can too. fight through those dark, dark moments. And they too can find a level of light. They truly can make it through. I know the cliche of the light at the end of the tunnel is the worst thing that you want to hear in the middle of a depressive episode. In fact, you might get triggered to the point where you actually lash out on that person who's literally just trying to help you. You see, we have to talk about depression as more than just, I'm sad, because that's not what it is. It is so much deeper than that. You ever wonder why sometimes you got just random aches and pains that go along with the fact that you're not feeling good, that go along with the fact that you're always just a little bit more irritable now. You're always just a little bit closer to the edge, and you realize your sleeping patterns that you never really had, but now it's like, oh, I might sleep tonight, I might sleep tomorrow. It's like, I could take a shower today, but, I ain't really do much. But then that becomes 3 days. It's like, I'm hungry, but it just really, the process of just, now you think you're just like, I'm just tired. No, you're going through things that you really need to have evaluated. You need to take the time to truly see, is this deeper than just a rut? Is this deeper than something I myself can pull myself out of? Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, no amount of healthy food, working out, social interactions, healthy reading, none of that shit, no amount of that could pull me out of where I was at. I needed to see somebody. I needed a whole bunch of different things. And we all do. We all need help. And that's the first thing that you have to do is admit it. And that's what got me to therapy, because I was scared to admit that I needed help, because I felt as an obsessive compulsive individual, I have it on lock. I got this shit down. The only thing that was down though was me. But I'm back up. And you know what I got out of that 28-day grind? Therapeutic Vibes, the version that's coming out. And I've been able to let a few people listen to it, and the responses that I have gotten have floored me, y'all. Like, I'm just like, whoa, really? Like, y'all really like rock with it? Because I'm just putting out how I truly feel, because I went through something, and I just wanted to try to just capture just a little bit of that. Just take a little bit of this paint on this brush and this canvas and give you a portrait. And I hope that's what Therapeutic Vibes does. And I hope that when you get a chance to listen to it and you just sit there with it, that it leaves an impression on you that although if this is the balance of life and you're all the way down here at the darkest, that you can still balance those scales. You can still find a way to make it through. This starts off really, really scary. And it ends with purpose. It ends with a beautiful beginning of what is to come. Because now I'm no longer worried about what's happened. I'm no longer stressing about what's happened. I'm no longer allowing my anxiety to make me worry about the future, because I'm here. I'm centered. I'm in the present. I'm in the present, and I'm good here. And I think that the main reason it took me so long to come back and talk about this is because I needed to truly understand, am I doing controversial conversation because I want everybody in the world to watch me? Am I doing it because I don't want a 9 to 5, so I'm just trying to monetize something that I think I might be decent at? Is there a real reason I'm doing this show? And I said, bruh, you do it not for any other reason than it's your purpose. It's your passion. It is your path. The reason I'm here talking is because I'm here talking because I didn't take my Smith and Wesson and I didn't pull the trigger. I'm here talking. I know there's another person right now who's feeling down, who's feeling lost, who's feeling hopeless, who's feeling like there's one perfect solution to all of these problems that I have. And I'm telling you that that is not a solution. It's not even an answer. It's nothing. But I understand the thought because I was there. I was. But these are new beginnings. And within these new beginnings and within this 28-day grind, I was also able to find a new purpose. CRN. Y'all, the Community Resource Network is something that I am ecstatic about. During the 28-day grind, I realized, all right, what was one of the real reasons that depression really hit me? And if we're going to be honest, it's because I had anticipated winning this election. I thought I was going to truly be the next representative for Post 5 and Warner Robins, and it didn't happen. And I'm like, okay. Well, how do I continue doing everything that I said I wanted to do when I was on those stages talking to the people of the city that I wanted to represent? And I came to an understanding that I don't need the politics to do it. In fact, the politics would hinder me from actually completing the goals that I've set out when it comes to community development, community activism, all of that shit, right? So I'm sitting here thinking, who is somebody that I trust more than anybody that if I had an idea, they could really help me flesh it out? Well, the same person who was on the phone with me at the moment that I was at my lowest, she was also there when I was at my highest. And she helped me see that what I had right here in front of me is a beautiful idea that we can really truly make into a movement, into something bigger. So my mom became the secretary of the nonprofit organization that we created, and we set out to do some big things. And now we got a lot of people interested in this idea. We're trying to finalize a few things, but what we're going to do for Warner Robins and Houston County, it's nothing short of incredible. And to see everything starting to come together, to see the cogs in the machine truly starting to just grind those gears, to see everything transpire into what it is now from what it was then. I'm like, wow, how do we turn CRN, how do we give it though that perfect feel? And we needed the tagline. And we're like, what is gonna work? Because CRN, we didn't have the name at first. So like, what will work? And we said, why reinvent the wheel? What have we always been doing? What have these 3 years on this show been? What have the past years of me going out here in the streets doing this and doing that been? What was me running for office been? Giving a voice to the voiceless. Speaking for those who deserve to be spoken for but aren't being heard. The ones who scream in silence. I have been put here to be the light that I told y'all we would get to. I have been put here to be the light for others so that they can see that even though depression may hit you so hard, even though the demons in that boxing ring are so fast and they block every counter punch that you have, if you continue to persevere all 12 rounds, you'll win. You will win. I know. That ninth round, I was shaking. That 10th round, I was looking at the barrel of my gun. But I got to the 11th round, and I felt them therapeutic vibes, y'all. And the 12th round, I won, and I'm here. I'm here. And that is why I'm back on Controversial Conversation now. That is why it took me so long to finally come and give you the realest segment that we've ever had. We've had a true depression conversation back on episode 2 in the first season, and you should definitely check it out. And you should definitely see the growth from there to now. But what that also shows you is I've done this before. So I have to recognize that when I get to those points, to reach out, when I get to those lows, to do the things that help me, I have to make sure I stay committed to my therapy. I have to make sure I stay committed to my mental well-being. Because just as quickly as I was able to realize the light and the divinity I have within me, is just as quick as that light can go out. Always remember that. Be cognizant of that. But don't let that burden you. Don't let that overwhelm you. And don't let that stop you. Don't let it stop you. But don't forget, you have so many resources. You have so many people. I know it sometimes doesn't seem like it, but that's what depression does to you. That's what depression is. Depression will make you believe that you have no worth, that you have no purpose, that you have no love, that you have no reason to exist. And maybe there isn't a cosmic reason for all of this going on. Maybe this is truly just chaos. But in the grand scheme of things, doesn't that mean you get to make your own reason, your own purpose, your own meaning? Doesn't that mean you get to describe and create and make the narrative for your story what you want it to be? Because if there was meaning out there, well, then it's already determined. But if we have the pen, and this is our notepad, then we get to change whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want. And that's what I want to leave you with. This is your story. Nobody can tell your story better than you can tell it. But you know what? No one will ever hear your story if you're not here to tell it. Don't give up. And by all means, reach out to us. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We are staying because we realize we have purpose. So as always, I love y'all. I'm so glad if you're still with me, if you're still listening, thank you. And 2 things. Y'all be good. Damn. Y'all heard that, right? Yeah, I did crack. All right, my bad. Like I said, let's end it with the light, y'all. So y'all be good and y'all be great. One love. It's Jokesta, babe. Real quick, so I was able to sneak back up in here into the studio. Nobody else is around, so I just want to let y'all know. I know y'all think that nigga Jokesta cool. Jokesta, he ain't cool. I'm cool. I'm the real star of the show. You see, I'm cool like the other side of the pillow. See, I'm cool like the shade that your ex be throwing on Facebook. You see, I'm so cool that the polar bears ask me to turn up the AC. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that cold.
Hey, who's still in the studio right now? Y'all better turn them lights out.
Here. But y'all holler at me. It's the brother.